Good morning, good day, good afternoon, and welcome everyone. Thanks for joining this series that Comport is providing on Aruba Central and HPE Aruba Company. So before we begin, I just want to say thank you for attending, and please reach out to Comport if you have any technical questions about anything we will talk about in today's session. Today we're going to be focusing on the specific topic of zero-touch provisioning in today's world in a pandemic that everyone seems to be dealing with. Using zero-touch provisioning is a very important topic of conversation because it limits the amount of time that staff has to spend on site. It also limits the amount of travel they have to do to complete their jobs. So being able to quickly and efficiently provision your environment is something that I think everyone is interested in. And one great thing about Aruba Central, because it is in the cloud, there's very simple ways that you can install an AP, a switch, whatever you need to from wherever you need to with minimal interruption to your business. When you're in Aruba Central, you'll go down to the organization page from the global view, and you'll move to Install Manager. So the way the Install Manager works is it's going to be on a site-to-site basis. So every building that you're deploying access point switches in, you would do it on a site-to-site basis. For this example, we only have one here, but they're very easy to configure. You'll have your IAP, so your Aruba Instant AP group name. This will be the group that's associated with the configurations in Aruba Central. You'll have the same thing for your switches. And if you are doing the Aruba SD branch platform, you can even have that in here as well and set up your default gateway for there. You will need some basic information. You'll need the site physical address. So for this example, this is one of our offices in New Jersey. And while you are doing the installation, there's several different ways that you can do it, but during the installation process, it's just going to show in progress here. Once the installation is fully complete, you simply check this box and it's marked complete, and you know that everything is good to go there and everything's showing up. If you have any installed devices that were done using this install manager, they'll also pop up here. You'll be able to see the device name, serial number, the type of device it is, and its status, along with any comments that the installer may have put in during that time. Great way to very quickly audit it. And I also find it to be a really great tool for your product management team or project management team, because they can use this information to mark specific tasks complete and also maintain their visibility on the project as a whole. Once you have your site configured and you have your default group set up, you can move from the Site Installations tab to the Installers tab. The Installers tab is where you're actually going to be plugging in the name of the individual installing the access points. You'll need their full name. It does not have to be in a professional IT resource. Essentially, all they have to do is take the device and they will be sent a text message with a link for an app download that's available in either Android Google Play Store or in the Apple Store for an iPhone. From there, they'll take a picture of a barcode that the device has on the front of the access point in certain situations, and it'll automatically provision that AP to your Aruba Central account with just the click of a button. It'll automatically figure out what group name it is, and from that group name, it'll inherit its configuration as appropriate. That way, you've taken the amount of time that you have to spend on manually connecting to a console port, manually going on site, hanging these APs yourself and verifying their connectivity, down from hours to minutes. Very, very simple, very easy way to do it. So once you put in their name, you put in their mobile phone number, you can even have a valid date. So when it comes to these installations, if they are not an IT professional or maybe a third-party vendor, you may only want to give them access to this tool for a day. That way they can't continue to use it or accidentally make mistakes at another project later down the road. So if you're installing on the 6th, you can just have it set up for the 6th, and at the end of that time, they'll lose access to what they can do with the app for your organization and can't provision any new devices. If you want the installer to actually modify the device name, they can do that as well, but it's as simple as checking the box. And then the final step of the process is just assigning which site that you want them to be provisioning for. Different individuals may be provisioning different sites. You may have multiple sites going up at the same time. So this is a great way to keep tabs on who is doing what where, and also give them specific access to only the areas they need to be in terms of installation configuration. Once you add that site and you've plugged in all your information, you'll click Save. and Aruba Central will send that text message out with the app download information. Please note there is no additional charges. There's no additional licensing for this texting service. It is simply part of the Aruba Central platform and available for anyone to use without the need for additional licenses or complicated subscription structures. As I said earlier, once you're done with the site installation, you can mark it as complete. You'll know the individual groups that you did, the number of devices in each group that were configured, and when they were last installed. So this is also a great tool just for keeping historical information on when things were done and by whom. And with that, we'll wrap up the topic of zero-touch provisioning. If you'd like to know more, see a demo, or even run a trial of Aruba Central and using the zero-touch provisioning software that we just showed you, please contact your sales representative at Comport, and they will coordinate this meeting for you. Thank you for joining.